hold on. You sound a little upset. You mad, huh? My crew too fresh. You mad, huh? Welcome to You Mad, huh? The podcast conceived out of brotherhood and presented with love. We are back with episode 16. And our 15 and a half episode was the wind down from Jiho. And we didn't want to get too serious, too quick on you. So we're going to dive in with a sports episode. We're right here at the intersection of Major League Baseball, NBA, college football, NFL. So, we're all sports guys in one way or the other. So we wanted to kind of take it easy and, dive into these sports and see what what the different opinions are from our group. So let me introduce everyone that we have on today. We have Ken. I hate the Eagles more than MAGA. Merritt. All right.
It's a lot of hate.
A lot of hate, for sure. We've got Anthony. I would pay Dak $70 million. Humphrey. Them Cowboys. Them Cowboys. We've got one that's joining on in just a minute. Tyrone, where's my cup bond? That's a little inside joke for the group. We also have Raymond. Y'all ninjas too wild. I'm chilling. Cooper. We've got B. Paul. I love bonfires. Fleming. And then last but not least, we have another special guest on this week with the return. We have Lizelle. Dion ain't ish free. Welcome. Yeah, just take that hat. Just take that hat and put it in the closet because y'all ain't going nowhere no time soon, man. Y'all don't need no Louis luggage, no Samsonite luggage, none of that. All right.
Looking
so
like
we're gonna kick
over there. That's what looking like.
Hey, I got a feeling this is gonna be a good one. I have a feeling this is gonna be a good one. So we're gonna start this off with the NFL. We kind of did a couple of we took a look at a couple of divisions within the NFL. I think NFC East, NFC South. We really didn't get through all of what we want to get through, but we're midway through the NFL season, and I want to know what you guys think about the season so far. What were the surprises and the disappointments? Okay, so whoever wants to jump in first, feel free. And I think Lizelle, you sound looks like you had something on your mind, man. What's your surprise of the season?
Well, good evening. First of all, good evening to everyone once again, brothers. So good to be in the land of the living and with brothers that understand each other. We can have a discourse without choking each other. That's great. So here we go. Now, I was on this call. I was on this thing a few months ago, and there was one guy. I don't know who he was. Well, let me back up. Do you guys know who is the number one rated quarterback in the NFL as of today?
Daniel Jones, right?
Danny Dimes.
No.
Okay.
No.
Out of the game he had Sunday.
Well, that one, yeah, they got it. Yeah.
It was a man. I'm just going to say 2 words. I'm going to say 2 words. Drake May. Now, I don't know who it was on this call.
Yeah. I talked a lot of shit.
Who was it on this call? I don't know who it was on this call that said Drake May wasn't shit. He wasn't that good. He wasn't anything. I
didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, wait a minute. Now, understand. I believe everybody was on this call. And we said, well, no. Nobody else was great. That's you that said Drake May was great. We never said Drake May was great. But if the season ended today, he is the number one rated quarterback in the NFL. He might be kind of good. He might just be a little good.
I've got a rebuttal, but I'm going to go ahead and finish. No,
I'm done. What else I got to say?
Go ahead.
I made my point. Say less, as the kids say. Say less, nigga. Say less.
I'll eat my words at
Say
this
it,
point.
P. Don't
But
say
here's
it.
here's what I need to say. Wait to the playoffs. Give me the playoff. All these quarterbacks. I don't care who they are. Let me see them in the playoffs before. Look at my man from the Texans, right? They were like, "Oh, he's so much better than Bryce Young. Bryce Young is horrible, right?" Dog, have you seen the last 2 seasons for him? Now, I'm not. There's a lot of factors in that, but I'm like, dog, come on. We can't talk about just the player's great because the team is doing well, right? But either way, I take back what I said. I take back what I said. He's doing an excellent job at this point. He's doing an excellent job at this point. The New England Patriots, as a team, are doing an excellent job at this point, right? But we will see.
Yeah, they are. But can I listen? It's funny that I appreciate you taking it back at 5:43 on this recording. The other thing, as I was looking at it, was I believe, and it's gonna feed into something later on that we probably gonna talk about, was that somebody kept hollering about how good a certain quarterback that got drafted late in the NFL in the draft. And all I know is they traded their starter and started another rookie, and they still not doing good. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, brother.
Hold up. I believe
the NFL. Wait. Now, the NFL is a business at the end of the day. And if this man can't beat out another rookie and they still doing awful, and he can't get on the field,
let's get into
he's
that.
not as talented as we thought he was.
Let's get into that. Who might you be talking about?
I don't
Say it.
I don't know.
I think you're talking about. I think you're
I
talking
don't
about
know.
you.
Maybe
P.
the son of a certain Colorado.
Say it, Pastor.
I believe that brother's name is Shade Doer Sanders.
Okay. Now hold up. Now, did somebody else? Did somebody else say that he wasn't going to make the team? That he was going to get cut?
No. I never said that.
I believe I have that. I believe I have that on. There you go. Say okay.
But at the same time, there were a lot of teams that don't carry 3 and 4 quarterbacks. There are a lot of cats that didn't do that.
Well,
now, I thought he would make the squad. The one reason he was going to make the squad, and I believe I said this, was because at the end of the day, the NFL is a business. And Shedeur Sanders' jersey was a top 3 jersey just because of all the controversy behind it. Which I also said was, if he gets on the field, if talent always wins out. At some point in time, they got to put him on the field if he's that good.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
He just made the great point right there.
Let me ask you a question. Why have they not given him any reps with the first offense?
I believe we're going to have to call Kevin Stefanski. I don't have that kind of insight. But what I do know is they're not doing really well right now. They're not doing well now. Why not give it first team? Here's
what you can't tell me. You can't tell me that they really want to be the best they could be. Because if they wanted to be the best they could be, they would give him an opportunity, even in practice. The same
guy that said Drake May wasn't any good. Why are we listening to you anyway?
I didn't say it wasn't any good. I just said I don't think he's going to be that guy. Let's wait to the playoffs. And let me give you guys some stats. I'm gonna throw up the stats for the NFL at this point. Just a win-loss record, so you guys can have some opinions on some stuff. I know some teams are not doing as well as we thought they were going to do. Either way, let me put this up. You guys can continue the conversation as I put this up. So,
hey, P,
if someone else has some input, yes.
Since the good brother is on, I'm gonna pile on a little bit because one of the things I've been noting, because I mean, you were the most animated you've been on this. The one time you got the most mad is over Dak Prescott, and Dak's come back, and Dak's had a pretty nice season.
He's had a good season. He has a good season.
I think you got to eat some of that, right? Because you dogged it.
I did. I was like, dog. I wouldn't pay. I still wouldn't have paid him $60 million. But he's looked really good this year. He looked confident. That's what I like about him. But guess what?
I've seen it before.
Dallas Cowboys still suck. They can't live up to what
he can't play defense.
No. They can't live up. They scored 17 points, dog. They scored 17 points.
It wasn't the defense last night.
No, it was not.
They can't live up to the expectations. They just can't do it.
God,
I'm confident in that.
I'm so sorry I opened the door for a Dallas Cowboys conversation. That wasn't my intent. My intent was still on quarterbacks. My intent was on quarterbacks. The last thing I want to do is turn this into Get Up or First Take, and we start in our first block talking about Dallas. We can come back to it. But can we go somewhere? Can we get back on quarterbacks first?
I do want. Let me make one point. As he was talking about Shedeur, I get what you're trying to say, but we had to give it some time. What's his name? What's the young cat that's in there now?
Gabriel.
The one is my height. Mm-hmm. He was drafted first. Yeah. So they have to give him a shot first. So let it play out. Because if they don't play him first, then it's gonna look bad
on the manager,
on the GM for the way he drafted.
That's right.
So just by order, by money, you have to give the other cat the first dibs. And then let him keep losing. And then we'll see Shedeur probably the last 4 or 5 games. But I think you're way too early.
2-6 now. What's their record?
Are they 2-6? What is their record? We're looking at it now. What's it?
2-6. They're 2-6.
Yeah. 2-6.
Yeah.
I've got the win loss stats.
See, my whole thing is listen. But here's what you have to understand. This is what I don't get. When you got to give him a shot. The Browns defense is not bad. You wasting Myles Garrett precious time there. I'm just saying their defense is middle of the road. Top 10.
Myles Garrett chose to have his precious time spent there. He could have went anywhere he wanted to. So don't sit there and feel bad for Myles. He knew what they had.
Myles got paid. That was strategically.
Yeah, Myles went for the money, and I ain't mad at him.
Okay, that's right.
I'm not
fair enough.
That was strategically done.
Okay, maybe I said that wrong. I don't necessarily feel bad for him. But what I am saying is that defense is good enough to win, right? And if you're trying to win as an organization, and look, even when you say give him time, if you put him in, every eyeball is going to be on that squad. You're going to get the eyeballs necessary to make more money. I'm just saying is what I mean. At 2-6, you could go on a run. You put him in, and they could go win the rest, and maybe sneak in as a wild card with that defense.
But there's still politics to this thing.
There you go. My question to you: do they want him to come in and be successful? Because if they do that again, it shows that they made a bad choice by taking this other cat in the 3rd round. And so to save their butt, ego is everything. If you're a GM, I gotta get this guy a chance first before I let Shedeur.
It's most likely that they'll ride this season out with Gabriel. I don't think Shedeur is gonna get any burn, right? I really don't.
Unless Gabriel gets hurt, which is a possibility.
That could happen.
There's nobody else left. Who's left?
So if that happens,
yeah, he's still on the roster.
So we're midway through the season, right? And you spent this money to get this guy. I'd agree with Ty. They're gonna play him. They are gonna go with him, and they're gonna die with him this season.
Already though. I mean, the reality is it politics? Or is Shedeur not beating him out though? Which is what I think was started.
We hadn't seen him this season, so we don't know what he looks like.
You can't even tell because he's never gotten reps with the first offense. You don't know what he looks like with the first. When he was in with the 2nd and 3rd string, he actually did an outstanding job. They put him in with the 4th and the 5th string. He looked horrible, but everybody looks. But all them guys in the line were gone the next day. So I don't think they even know necessarily what they have because he's never gotten a fair shot. Okay,
but to be fair, when you say a fair shot, he also was hurt during the preseason as well. He didn't play a couple of games because he wasn't hurt. Because he was hurt, he wasn't available.
But here's what's before that. Stefanski said before the summer started, he said this is going to be an open competition, and I think he overspoke. Okay. And somebody said, "Look, dog, this ain't gonna be no open competition." So if open competition is everybody,
and why would they do that?
the owner came out and
If
said,
they're trying to win,
you
already putting words in somebody's mouth.
No, I'm not. The owner came out and said, I did not sign off on this drafting of Shedeur Sanders. He came out and said that.
We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
Right? So, dog,
Right.
it's not about them wanting to win. It's not about them wanting to win at all. If it was, then you got these two guys and you think they're otherwise, just get rid of Shedeur. Let him go. They could easily do that. Let him go.
Hey, Paul, I'll give you one better. I can tell you why it's not about winning. No, I was just saying, he said they're trying to win. I said, what showed me that they don't really care about winning right now is the fact that you can trade your starting quarterback to another team in the same
division, right?
And they have a conference rather in the same conference. And that's your advantage. When Burrow got hurt, you gotta put your foot down on him. And that's what Tomlin said. Who trades a starting quarterback? If he was good enough to be your starter, why would you give another team in your conference a starter? That's crazy.
Because Joe Flacco is 68 years old.
It don't matter how old he is. He was starting for your team.
So let me ask you guys this though. So this is something I think is surprising to me, is that the parity that we've had in the league this year is kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. Like every team that's supposed to be good, the Chiefs, the Ravens, they look horrible at the beginning of the season. Right, they're all over the place. If you look at these win-loss records, it's everywhere. Like everybody's got at least a couple of losses at this point. There's no standout teams. What's going on with this parity, or is it just that the teams can't gel, or what's the deal with that?
I think you got to take them one conference at a time because I think they're two different stories, right?
Okay.
Like if we start with the NFC, right? Some people in the preseason, I heard people talking about like it's the Eagles and then kind of everybody else. I'm not sure I buy that. I think Seattle and the Rams in that division. We know about the NFC North with Detroit and Green Bay. I think there's a whole lot of parity in the NFC, right? And while the Eagles are probably a step ahead of everybody, the other teams are coming real fast. And so I think there's a lot of parity in the NFC. In the AFC, I think there's some pretenders. You know what I mean? I think I'm not buying the Patriots, right? I'm not buying the Colts. I think they got to win a few more games before I believe that. I'm not buying Denver. I'm not buying the Chargers. At the end of the day, those teams got nice records, but the cream of Kansas City and Buffalo, you still got to knock those off.
Right.
I definitely agree that with Buffalo. Kansas City, they're inconsistent right now.
What about Baltimore if they get healthy?
I think they will raise their level of play as the season progresses. NFC is terrible, dude. With all the injuries that's going on, I just think we're at best that we're going to see in the NFC. I think the sleepers, well, I wouldn't even say sleepers, right? We talked about Tampa Bay early on in that podcast where we discussed football. They're 6-2. They're playing good football.
Yeah.
And they're consistently good. They're not flaky week in, week out. They're consistently playing good football. I think the Panthers have surprised people winning. They've definitely surprised me.
I told you they were going to be solid. I did say that.
Yeah, you did.
I said the Panthers going to be straight.
But surprisingly, their run game, nobody predicted their running game to look like this ball.
Rico for sure.
Nobody predicted that.
Yep.
I think Bryce has finally settled down. He's making good decisions. But yeah, I think it's still too early to get excited. I kind of agree with Ken's theory. We got another whole half a season to go, man.
Mm-hmm. So
and some of these teams, you got look at the NFC East. They look horrible. Yeah. The Commanders, their quarterback's out for the season. Giants look terrible. Dallas looks terrible.
Is he out officially? He's out with the elbow dislocation?
Not officially yet, but
I don't know if it's indefinitely or not.
Okay, all right.
Hey, is this parity a good thing for the league?
Yes.
I think it keeps us engaged, right?
Absolutely.
Fans are always pulling for their team, regardless of how good or how bad they are, dude. They're always pulling. And the ratings are still going to stay the same. People want to see good football.
Yeah. How many teams in the NFC are unwatchable, right? The Saints are unwatchable, right?
Agreed.
But like every team in the NFC North can win on any given day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. In the NFC South, Quake, you mentioned Tampa. P, you mentioned Carolina. Is it like the Falcons can surprise you too when they got all their pieces? When they have a good day. They look me. Drake London looked like Jerry Rice Sunday. Dude had 3 touchdowns, right? And having said all that, the NFC West, like when the Cardinals put together a full game, they can look pretty good and to go along with the Seahawks, Rams, and Niners.
Yeah,
the NFC East. I think
do you change the quarterback?
Which one? Oh, in Arizona.
Arizona. Do you change him when they get healthy, or do you stay with my man? They look like a different team with him.
No, they've already said it today. They announced today that they said it. He will remain a starter.
Really?
Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Kyler Murray's gonna be. He's gonna be in his feelings. Yeah, Kyler Murray's gonna be in his feelings about that.
NFC West is probably the best looking division there is out there, man. They are playing good football.
They are. And I think no one saw it coming. I think the biggest thing that really has blown me away from the NFC West is that San Francisco has managed through all the injuries that they had. They had a lot of starters out, and they consistently put a good product on the field every week. Not to mention that the Rams defense has gotten better and better each week this year to now match their offense. And everybody's shocked by what Seattle's doing. Smith and Jigba is just a freaking dynamo out there, and Sam Darnold and he are on the same page, and they just got some help today with Rashid out of New Orleans. So on top of Kupp coming back, you got Tony Wharton, the rookie who caught 2 touchdowns this past week. And don't sleep on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals had like a middle-of-the-road defense, and their offense is not prolific, but they're being very consistent. They've only lost they lost 6 games, but they lost 3 of those, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 of them by a field goal or a touchdown or less.
Yeah,
so
something like a field goal at the end of the game.
I think they had the lead in the fourth quarter in all 3 of them games.
Oh wow!
Well, the only thing I doubt that the Niners are sustainable. I doubt that they can keep doing it. You know what I mean? With all those injuries, the injuries got to catch up on them. Don't you think?
I think if they continue to push through, they'll be okay. But if they bring Purdy back, I think they take a step back. And I hate, they hate to say that because they paid all that money to him because he's their starter. But Jones is playing much better football than Purdy's played, even in his good days.
You can't say that, huh?
Agreed.
I can. Why can't I?
Yeah, agreed. Listen, Coach of San Francisco wanted Mac Jones out of Alabama. Come on, man. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. He wanted Mac Jones and couldn't get him.
And I promise you,
from when he came out of Alabama,
if he wasn't having
that
problems with his
1,000 times.
knees right now, it would be a no-brainer. They would come all the way out and say that he's going to be starting the remainder of the season. But he's having some issues with his knees, and they're parlaying it, and they pay the money. They pay Purdy money.
There's no way you pay Purdy that kind of money, and they would say that under any circumstance.
No,
I agree.
no.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, because they paid him the money.
I agree with you.
Wait, but then it's similar to how Dak got in with Romo. I mean, when Romo went down and they bet all that money to Tony Romo and Dak came in, he needed a very similar situation. They're trying to win. Like when you just got finished saying that the Cleveland Browns ain't trying to win, but San Francisco, they're trying to win, and they win it. Same thing with Arizona. They just said Jacoby Brissett's going to start even when Kyler is well enough to go. So I mean, those organizations are trying to win. I mean, when we talk about that entire division, Sam Darnold is the surprise because I don't know about anybody else, but I thought he was a bust. I mean, he went to Minnesota and tore it up, but I thought he was a system quarterback. So when he got to Seattle, I had no idea he was going to do what he's doing now. But because Daniel Jones went to Minnesota and sat
the one thing they said about Sam Darnold that's different this year is that he is commanding the team. They say like, I think he had a chip on his shoulder when he went to the Jets because he was mad he didn't get picked earlier, and he went out there and he was kind of playing the background, not to mention playing on the bad Jets team. But I think playing in Minnesota gave him some confidence, and now he's out there, and they're saying like he's a different dude in the locker room. You know, folks are talking to him. He's giving them good feedback, and he's commanding the team. I think that's different. You could see him playing with a lot more confidence this year, a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you think that Minnesota regrets letting him get out the door?
Not with the way JJ McCarthy played last week. Like I think they were starting.
But JJ McCarthy is also injured. They didn't know what they was going to get with JJ, but they knew what they had with Darnold. And you see what Carson Wentz did; he was trash.
I guess I'm answering your question
nope.
Probably going into last weekend, the questions were legit as to whether they screwed up. Because if I were them, I would have just kept Donald for another 2-3 years, right, and let McCarthy kind of grow, right? But they made the move. Then McCarthy got hurt. Sam Darnold looked good. Then they probably thinking, yeah, we fucked up. But McCarthy did look good Sunday and answered a lot of questions, right? And so right now they're probably feeling pretty good. And if in the back of their mind is Sam Darnold week 17 last year and playoffs last year, right? And so if you don't got to pay all that money and JJ McCarthy you can still win with, then no, they don't regret it, right?
No, and I agree with you, Ken. I think from the beginning though, they knew they probably would take a step back even with McCarthy,
right?
But you had to make a change. You had to make a
Long
decision.
term.
Do we start building for the future, getting other players on this rookie contract? They knew Darnold was a better. I think that's been the problem with the NFL anyway. We throw these quarterbacks in and expect them to be Mahomes year 1, year 2, year 3. And it's a reason why all these veterans are doing so well because they don't have the pressure. They've seen everything. And they're grown men. I mean, that's in any sport, business. If you've seen everything, you're gonna perform better. So they knew Darnold was a good quarterback, but based on age, why would it? Because the money he was demanding, they couldn't have given him the contract Seattle gave him. You couldn't do that. You build him for the future. So they didn't mind taking a step back. They didn't expect McCarthy to be as good as Darnold was last year. But what they're thinking is we couldn't win with Darnold at his best last year. And so in 2 or 3 years, I can be doing the same thing with McCarthy learning the game by that time.
Right.
And still having all these players get contracts.
But I think you're forgetting one thing. Mahomes didn't start when he first got there. Just like Lamar Jackson didn't start when he got there. Just like Jordan Love didn't start when he got there. He didn't come in and light up the world. He sat the bench.
I think you're exactly right. That's what I'm saying. I think, but look at your boy in I hate to say it, Carolina. But I thought he got a deal. Yeah. All that pressure he had. Let the man learn the game.
He did.
The speed is different. I mean, I just think. But if you just like the first year when he got hurt, he went out. He came back with no pressure. Performed at the end of the season.
Right.
this year. But
Right.
I think everybody wants, even with Caleb Williams, everybody wants everybody to be. You have to learn the game. The speed is different. Defense are different. I just, there's a reason why those quarterbacks, like you said, who sat for a little while and seen the game, learn from someone else. I think it's just different. And so,
but if you use that logic, then why wouldn't you keep a Darnold if you're using that same logic?
Exactly.
Darnold wasn't going to sign because Darnold wanted too much money.
That was a money issue.
That was a money thing. He had to get his money while he could. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean he went 15-2. He better take his money. He'd be
you gotta go when you hot.
Yeah.
Yep. So any switching gears here, any disappointments from the NFL this season? Any major disappointment? Even though they've got a lot of parity, I don't know if that's a disappointment. You know, you got certain teams that we expect to do really well and not doing well. Any disappointments this season?
I think the biggest one that jumps out of everyone's got to be the Ravens, based upon the expectations that were set on them for the beginning of the year. Injuries aside, they've definitely come in beneath the bar. And given how the NFC North, AFC North is playing out, they still may make a run, but that to this point, they're probably the biggest disappointment.
Yet I wouldn't be surprised.
The difference one play can make. That fumble,
it
would have been the Bills. It's just amazing how they went in a whole different direction. You finished that first game.
Yep. And think about the Hail Mary for the Commanders against the Bears.
Commanders,
that changed their whole season. I mean, it's funny how that one play like that can change the trajectory real quick.
Having said it about the Ravens too, I would not be surprised if they end up 11-6 though, right? Like they and in some ways, they don't handle pressure well, and so they might be in a better position, like
with the lights
with less eyes on them to come back, be either to try to sneak and win a division or be a wild card with no pressure, and then see what happens.
The problem is though, Ken, I mean, if they run off 2 in a row, everybody's going to focus right back on them and talk about the run, and then that pressure's going to be back on. There's no way they're going to sneak back into first place in the AFC North.
It's already started. I mean, they've already said that they have the best odds to win that division right now.
Yeah, we back. So tell me this, fellas. With all the parity, all the question marks this season, who are your Super Bowl picks? Who's going to the bowl? Who's going to get there? Not a winner, but who's going to get there from each conference? And I'll put up the stats again if you guys need to think about it a little bit.
So I'll jump in because I think we are downplaying the play of the Colts right now, and the major surprise that they've been, even with Danny Dimes stepping in, and his play has been above par. They're being coached well, and defensively, they just brought in Sauce, and he's going to pretty much shut down half the side of the field. And they weren't weak in the secondary already. They got some dogs in that linebacker level, and their defensive line controls the game. They got manhandled this past week. They had a game against the Steelers, and the Steelers came out and smacked them in the mouth. I'm not quite sure that's going to be the blueprint. So I still believe that they're gonna be there when it's all said and done. And I think that coming out of the NFC, you can't discount the surge that the Rams are on. The problem with the Rams is the biggest. If they can get out of their division, they're going to be solid. And then I think you're probably seeing the Rams and the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. And I say that because just the Eagles just know how to get it done. They loaded up too. They just had a couple trades to bolster their defense. So there's a lot of things on the offensive side for the Eagles we haven't seen yet. And then as much as the press likes to play up all the consternation between the wide receivers and they're not running the ball enough, we're halfway through the season. And as much as Barkley ran last year, as much as wear and tear as that offensive line took on all those tush pushes and everything else, they're still recovering from the run they had last year, man. If they get healthy and with the experience that they have and the team and the firepower they have on both sides of the ball, they're going to be right back there. So I expect to see them and the Rams in the NFC Championship game. And I think you'll see either the Colts versus Chiefs or Buffalo right now in the AFC Championship.
All right, perfect.
Lions and Bills. Yeah,
Lions and Bills. All right.
Lions and Bills.
Okay, Ty, who you got?
Got the Lions and the Chiefs.
Lions and Chiefs. All right.
Should have been
Quake?
that. Should have been that 2 years.
Okay.
2 years ago.
I would
Wait, no.
probably say Detroit and probably the Bills.
Detroit and Bills. All right.
So,
Dog,
Pete, can you
look.
Can you put back up? Can you put back up the standings real quick?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things you have to look at is how does a team make the playoffs, right? The Chiefs got an uphill battle to make the playoffs.
Absolutely, they do.
Because I'm not convinced they're going to win the division, right? And if you go, if
Broncos
chalk
kick
stands
ass.
here, right? Let's just assume these 4 teams do win their divisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got wild cards. The Bills are going to get one of those, right? Then who's going to get the other, right? Is it
They just have to. I think they have to catch the Chargers, Ken.
they have to catch the
If
Chargers?
they catch
exactly.
the Chargers, they're in.
And because one of them is going to the Patriots or the Bills, right?
Yep.
And if Baltimore gets on a run, they're going to get one of the wild cards also, them or Pittsburgh. So you don't think the Ravens make it?
I don't think the Ravens going to get in.
That's an uphill battle, dude.
They got 3 wins right now, dude.
Yeah, that's
Have you seen their schedule?
I have. I see the Bengals on there. I see the Browns on there, and I see Pittsburgh on there once. I think still, but the problem is those are like you've seen what those games are like. Man, there's those games aren't promised. No matter how bad the Browns are, they're gonna bring their A game against the Ravens. No matter how bad the Bengals are. Well, the Bengals they might take both of those, but I don't think they're gonna get in. I think that's the team that don't get in. Personally.
Okay.
All right. So Lizelle, who are your picks? Super Bowl picks.
Let me say, I believe it or not, for the AFC, for me it's between two squads, and the one squad nobody's talking about. Y'all haven't said anything, but if the Pittsburgh Steelers run this table, they will be in the Super Bowl. Nobody's coming into Heinz Field to beat them. And they showed you Sunday when that defense played, with all that money they got behind them and all that shit that was talked about them all week, they still have a lot of pride. And I'll take Mike Tomlin over, most folks in the NFL. So I'm going to say the Steelers. That's my dark horse. In the NFC,
Literally.
I heard that. But in the NFC,
I'm a fan. I'm going for the Steelers, just not for Rodgers.
right, exactly. But you can't, and you also, for all this could be it for him. And he's got gas in the tank. The man can still, sling it. I'm sorry, for the NFC, Los Angeles Rams. I'm gonna go with the Rams. And for no other reason that I don't like anybody other than my Cowboys, and I don't give a damn. So the Rams. Period.
All right.
I'm just going to McVay. He got a hot wife.
Right.
I like the Rams.
So Steelers and Rams. All right, man. I'm sticking with the traditional, the Chiefs and the Eagles. I'm going back to them. I know it's an uphill climb for the Chiefs, but they showed me that last game that they really are like they took some risk to get back in that game. Them dudes are they winners. So I'm sticking with them until I see them not win. When they're at full strength. And then the Eagles, all the talk about the Eagles, you still got to knock both them off for me. I got to see it done before I can, include anybody else. And a lot of those quarterbacks, we mentioned quarterbacks, if they can do it in the playoffs, okay. But the playoffs is a different brand of football. We all know that. And some of these guys are throwing with clean pockets. you ain't gonna get a lot of clean pockets in the playoffs. You know, that's really what's gonna tell me who's who. And I do like Dak. By the way, I like him this season. He looks like a leader. He didn't look like leader before. He looks like he's grabbed his nuts and he's like, I'm gonna put the team on my back. But he's not. He didn't do that before. He was just kind of, I'm Dak. I got my Coca-Cola contracts and all that. Let me go back to just Eagles and the Eagles and the Chiefs is my opinion.
This guy, I love that. The Chiefs are winners until they show me they not, but they lost the Super Bowl, so they not. I'm just saying they showed you
they're winners,
but they lost.
And you just said that game. They just lost their last game.
Yeah,
they did, but every team is going to lose some games. But they showed me they didn't roll over.
Man, if they don't get in with the wild card, they're not getting in, and they may not. They may call it. It depends on what happens next few weeks.
Here's their schedule. They got Denver, they got the Colts, they got the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chargers, the Titans, the Broncos, and the Raiders.
They ain't gonna make it, dude.
Yeah, that's 5 and 3.
I have faith in them, dude.
They ain't gonna make it.
I got faith in them.
Kansas City got an uphill climb.
They do. But if anybody's gonna do it, those are the guys that are gonna do it.
And the reason why they have a chance is because they got to play the Titans and the Ravens, and they might sneak the Texans at home because they got them at home. So they got three, and then the Cowboys. They got 4.
And the Cowboys, man.
Yeah, but they're a couple games back already. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem. They got to uphill battle.
They're gonna need somebody to lose. They need some help.
Yes.
So they can get.
They need to play the Cowboys at least 3 times.
Hey man. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's cold out here in these streets. Hey.
All right. Well, look. Let's jump into college football. Intersect here, and at this point, I guess the same question: surprises and disappointments in college football so far. Who would like to jump in first?
Hey man, college football it's crazy right now. You got coaches that are competing and losing with winning records, getting fired. It's crazy out there, man.
Yeah, talk about parity.
Any surprises? So is the parity? Is that the surprise as well in the college football?
So
it's not a surprise based on the NIL.
How do you fire my man down to LSU and then Dabo still have a job? I mean, really?
Because nobody
Brian Kelly won no championships.
There you go.
Brian Kelly won no championships.
Dabo
don't get started on Dabo, man. I jumped through this computer, bro.
Look,
you can't mess with Dabo. You can't mess with Dabo.
Man.
You can't mess with Dabo. My wife went to Clemson. I can't. She might watch this. You can't jump on Dabo. You cannot. We're not gonna jump on Dabo. All right?
He is, but you can't put him in the same.
No.
Why not?
Because Brian Kelly ain't never won nothing.
Because he's never won anything. He didn't win in Notre Dame.
He's won games at Cincinnati. He won games at Notre Dame. He won some games. He ain't never won nothing.
There you go. All the thing he won is he got his accent to change when he moved to LSU. That's it.
No,
and doesn't sense.
And he's an asshole. On top of everything. No.
Very much so.
I'm not a Brian Kelly fan either. Nobody.
No.
I don't care about that. Brian Kelly got $50 million to go away, dude.
Listen, they gave James Franklin what 63 to not coach.
He won.
Yes, he did. Now that one, but
James Franklin never won nothing.
He never won nothing. Listen,
Franklin never won nothing.
If James Franklin could just beat Ohio State and Michigan, they wouldn't have let him go. But he can't do that. He got his head beat.
He
won head white meat every time.
That's like taking the NC State job in North Carolina and thinking you're gonna beat the Dukes and Carolinas in basketball every year, man. It's not happening.
Listen. I'm upset that we hired Bill Belichick in the first place. I went to Carolina, and all I can think of is if we had just waited a year with Mac Brown's old ass, we'd have had our pick of the litter. We might have got a James Franklin. We might have got a Keller. We might have got some Jimbo Fisher.
Bubba should have got fired for hiring.
So is Belichick the biggest disappointment in college football this season?
No, he's one A.
You ain't stuck none of the Carolina.
You know who's the biggest disappointment.
70 new
You know who's the biggest disappointment. Listen,
speak your mind, sir. Speak your mind.
You know who the biggest disappointment is.
Say it. Listen, he lost his.
I said on this. I believe when I was on here last time, I believe I said he should have stayed his ass down there at Jackson State for a couple more years. And all y'all was drinking that Kool-Aid. Y'all was sipping it. Grape of red.
Why should he say
a man that ain't won nothing. A man that protected his brand because you like, he got to protect his son. He got one son that get in the league, and he got another son that can't get off the bench. And now he ain't got no star. Nobody coming there. Nobody coming to Colorado. Nobody's coming to Colorado.
That's Colorado hate, man. That's Colorado and hate. That's Colorado.
Let me go ahead, Hub. You're muted right now, Lozelle.
That's just hate. You talk about the biggest disappointment. If you want to rub in that he's had a bad season and saying that he's a fraud, that's another thing. But nobody's had no high expectations for Colorado football this year.
He's had a bad season. He's been there 3 years, and of the 3, 2 are bad. And my point is, they should have never hired the man. He was not a good coach. He is not a good coach.
You come on, man. You can't say that.
That's a whole different conversation. The biggest disappointment of the season, though.
Now he's starting to sound like Rick Rubber.
Using anybody else to jump in on the hate that you have for the man.
Brother, anybody else?
Now he's starting to sound like Richard's brother.
That bloodline.
This is what I'm trying to get at. This is the point I've always tried to make. Deion Sanders is that he is always selling a product, and the product is not always good. And when you sit there, and what I thought. When he went to Jackson State, I was all in because he brought blue chip products to an HBCU, and nobody else was doing that. He was King Negro on that stage. And the point I make is that when you the King Negro, you can do whatever you want. But then he goes to D1 in Colorado, and now he's with the Sabins and the Kellys and all the other cats, and he's on the plantation. Now he a house nigga, see? And he found out that when you a house nigga, it ain't as easy to win games.
Okay, let's forget about the fact that the man had cancer this year, right?
Brother,
Hold on. The man had cancer this year. He had his bladder removed,
one practice a week.
Right? He's been in the hospital to get blood clots taken out of his, loosened up in his legs, right? Forget all that, right? The man is just a horrible coach, right? He can't have any personal issues that might tie into that. Right?
What he's saying is,
I'm gonna say,
hold on a second. He had his bladder removed, so you can't shit on him.
You're wrong.
All I know is he had cannot use health as your excuse. We all played ball at some point in time on school level. What we do know is that you don't go out there if you're not ready to play. You don't put somebody out there that's not ready to play. And the same thing can be said for coaching. But he had 53 million reasons to coach that team, because that's how much they gave him, was $53 million. If I got cancer,
let's talk about that.
Has he missed a game?
I would go out there with a colostomy bag for $53 million. Carry my shit in my $53 million.
That's what he's doing.
So how much has
that has nothing to do with how well he do.
He has not missed a game.
The university made off Deion since he's arrived. How much revenue has it bought them? Because guess what? It's substantially more than 53 million.
Agreed. I'm not
They're
mad at
still
that.
winning.
What I am saying is that everybody was so excited about him going, and he just wasn't that good of a coach. Right? What I get tired is what we always talk about.
Is Brian Kelly a good coach? Was Brian
No,
Kelly
he's
good?
not. He's not. But my point is this: as black men, is there anybody on this call that has not heard at some point in their life that you have to be what? Twice as good as the other man. Twice
So
as
now
good.
it's even out.
Right.
So now it's even
That
out.
don't make it right.
Now it's even out.
It doesn't make it right, but that's what we've heard. So when you put somebody in that position that is not good, it makes it twice as harder for us to get back there.
I completely disagree.
How you think?
Disagree. For one, when he got to Colorado, they had nothing. They were 1-and forever. They could not win a game. Hold on. They couldn't win a game, right? They didn't have any money because they didn't have money, even have the money to pay him, right? He made them relevant. He did something that no other coach in the country could have done for him. And you know this. Hold on. You know this was
not relevant.
Let me ask you this, Lizelle.
They're not
Let me ask you
relevant.
this. You guys picked up the relevant in terms of making money. Because one of our frat brothers went out there with his wife this week just to go see Deion play, even though they may not be winning. But here's the thing: look at Bill Belichick, right? Bill Belichick went to a team that was actually probably better than Colorado when he took over, and they haven't done jack. So you can't trip on Deion. You can't hold on. You can't be mad at Deion for taking the job. I don't know why you're mad at him for taking the job. Bill Belichick.
Wait a minute. To be fair, you act like I'm not mad at Bill Belichick for taking the job, brother. I'm mad at them both.
You ain't as mad as you are.
You sound like Rich over
what
there.
I'm trying to say is that
giving Deion a lot more.
Bill Belichick also made Carolina relevant for just a hot minute until we realized he was shit. I'm not happy about it. It's so far. I'm just saying y'all complained about how good they was gonna be. You were talking about how good Colorado was gonna be, and with him at the coach. And I said he's not a good coach.
When you go from 1-11 to 9-4, you won for me in 2 years.
Yeah, but
He's had 2 losing seasons in 3 years, Paul. You get one good season, all of a sudden it's okay.
The money he made them in those first 2 seasons.
So it's about winning.
It would have taken pretty much. It would have taken them a decade to make that money. Like a decade.
So it's about the money and not the winning in terms of the coaching.
In Colorado, right?
The AD don't care.
You got to get
Exactly. He's made all that money. The thing to you is that we always talk about the opportunities we have to have a program.
Is it 9-4? Is it 9-4 and the possibility to win the conference a win? 1-11 last of your conference to 9-4 and potentially a position to win the conference is not a win
season.
in 2 seasons. In 2 seasons,
Carolina would take it.
Who does that?
Exactly. Shit.
Carolina would take him.
Did you expect Colorado to become Alabama or Georgia?
No, but a lot of people did because they thought he was going to bring in the blue chip recruits.
But people, hold on. Let's be fair.
Listen,
no, time out.
About because luggage and everything else. What do you expect?
Because I had this argument with y'all on a text about Deion taking this job. It's a fucking fail. Let's call it what it is. He would have been better if he'd have held out and took a job in the SEC that's better than Colorado, if Florida State or somewhere else. And that's what I said then. And all of y'all call bullshit on that because I said because some of you even said he was going to win in Colorado, and he did, and he can't. He got a blip. He got a blip. He came right back then.
Do you actually?
Go ahead. Here's where I get real as if. Is if he's not careful, his relevancy is over. Like if he'd have waited for the right job and gone to Florida State, Ty, as an example, he could have had a few years to build this shit up. He'd have been in a recruiting ground, in a conference, in a place where he could have had a sustainable program. Yes, he got some dollars. Yes, Colorado got a blip, but it ain't changed shit.
Okay.
He didn't.
So answer this question. Do you actually think Florida State was going to hire him if he did great at Jackson State for multiple years? I don't. I don't.
I don't.
He had to get the worst job in a Power 5 school. That was his only option, the worst job at a Power 5 school. I don't think any SEC school was going to hire Deion Sanders because he did well at Jackson State.
And
it just don't happen like that.
And his best bet would not to take a job at a
here's
SEC
the difference, Paul. But Paul, my point that to Ken's point, nobody was pushing him out of Jackson State. He would have had the opportunity to grow as a coach. Let's be honest. All he had ever done was coach high school and his kids. If you're there, you have the opportunity to grow. And Florida State would have hired that man because they were in talks and negotiations to do that. Hell,
and they didn't hire him first.
I'm not buying that.
What I'm saying is nobody was.
Then
what?
They would not count his experience at Jackson State as growth. I don't care what.
Here's
he did,
what they would have done. This is what. Here's what he would have done.
He could have done no more than what he did.
At the end of the day,
got to the celebration
Travis
bowl a few
Hunter,
times.
Yeah, and got his head beat in. Travis Hunter came to Jackson State because of Deion, and you know how that was showtime, prime time. If he had continued to do that consistently, then he would have showed the major conference.
They never would acknowledge him winning the flag.
So how real is that?
To go to Colorado, he can't get anybody to go up there. But he could have got him in Florida State.
5-star recruits to keep coming to Jackson State.
Potentially only because no matter where Deion went, he got publicity. Who knew what Jackson State was unless you were at an HBCU before he was there? And if he won,
how many 5-star recruits did he get? Even at Colorado, how many 5-star recruits has he had?
That's my point. You're making my point for me. He went up to Colorado and couldn't get anybody. But I'm saying at Jackson State, he could have been able to practice, to figure out how the nuances of coaching, and when he was ready, go to a Florida State and thrived. He's not thriving at Colorado. And again, my whole point is, it sounds like
to hear people talk about how he should have stayed at Jackson State and how he was a sellout for going to Colorado, but then in the next sentence say he should have stayed there long enough to go to Florida State. That doesn't make
no. But see, wait, I'm not saying sellout. That's not fair. You're not gonna put words in my mouth. You can't say sellout. What I'm saying to you is, when you the king Negro, you can do whatever you want. But then he goes to D1 in Colorado, and now he's with the Sabins and the Kellys and all the other cats, and he's on the plantation. Now he a house nigga, see? And he found out that when you a house nigga, it ain't as easy to win games. Is the Deion Jackson?
You said
Deion, whatever that man's name is. I'm saying he's not. He's not hurting for money.
Did you not say
he's
that?
not hurting for money?
Did you not say
and when he went to Jackson State, he said he went because
you didn't say it.
Come on, man. I'm just saying it. When he said he went for the students, for the kids. He said he was going for the
Lord
kids.
told him to go.
Well, you know that wasn't true.
Okay.
We all know that wasn't true, right? We know that wasn't true. You take what you can when it's hot, right? You don't wait around for Florida State because I get Florida. Florida State already told him. They said, dog, we're not hiring you anyway. That's why he went to Jackson. He was like, he was mad at Florida State anyway because they wouldn't hire him. So why would he wait around for them any longer? I wouldn't.
I guess that's where we disagree, P. I just don't think you take a job because you're quote unquote hot, right? Because the money can be shorter that way. And what I'm suggesting is if he could have. Colorado was never going to be a top 5 to 10 program. It just wasn't, right? It isn't, and so he just would have been better for another job where he actually could have strung together some top recruiting classes and not try to lure because he can and still can get 5 stars, but it's 3s and 4s in Colorado that he can never get. That's the quality that he would get if he got in the South somewhere.
But here's my question though: what about the history of college football hiring makes you think that any SEC or top level school was going to hire him out of Jackson State?
I mean, I think that's a fair point. I think that's a fair point.
You see what I'm saying? I just don't know. Because think about this. Deion's got money, right? They'll say Deion's got money.
My issue is not even in this regard. I buy what you're saying there. What I'm pushing, my main pushback on this is for everybody who thought he was going to fucking win there, right? And because you got caught up in all the glitz and glamour.
Define win. When you say win, do you mean Alabama national championship?
A perennial winner. Is this season a win for him?
I don't.
Just like Brazil said, in his 3 years, he's had one that you can qualify as a win. The other years have been disappointments.
Here's what I would say about that. Before NIL, maybe he had a chance. He doesn't with NIL. They don't have enough funds to really get who they need.
You
right?
just said
but
it.
again,
It's absolutely mind-blowing.
Say again?
The level, the bar of expectations that we put on Deion because he's Deion, but yet we'll give a pass to a Hugh Freeze or anybody else who go and gets a major program who can't even, Brian Kelly, who can't even lead men and lead an organization, and we'll give them motherfuckers a pass, but we'll set a bar that says he hasn't won in Colorado. It's just mind-boggling to me.
But that's not what Lizelle said, though. That's the opposite of what Lizelle said.
Talking about how much of
that's the opposite of what Lizelle said, though, brother.
When we knew he wasn't a great coach any damn way. He couldn't even win the Celebration Bowl. So he got the opportunity. If a white boy would have got that same opportunity to take it, nobody would have been wiser. They'd have had that same hope that he's going to go turn the program around, that he's going to get wins. So now the bar is different because it's Deion. If this is white boy Roy going to do take that same road coming from freaking University of Louisiana, Lafayette, and going to taking the Colorado job, we wouldn't even give him a shit about it. So that's just a tough conversation to have.
It is a tough conversation, but at the same time, Hump, I think what I'm trying to say is that the reason we're having the conversation is because it is Deion Sanders and he is a black man, and we're not giving Hugh Freeze a pass. We're not Ryan Kelly a pass. I'm not giving them a pass.
Hugh Freeze.
They haven't won either. You act like I was. But my point I'm making is that I am looking down the road, okay? And the roads that it feels like is that if he doesn't,
let me ask you this: should Deshaun Foster have taken the UCLA job?
Deshaun, was he not on the staff already? He was already like their running back coach or something like that.
Should he not taken the job, head coaching job?
To be fair, Deshaun Foster has been a coach multiple times. He absolutely should have taken the job. I think they gave him enough time. They didn't give him enough time.
What if he wasn't ready?
Well, if he wasn't ready, it was obvious he wasn't ready, Hump. They fired him. I can't, right? It's obvious he wasn't ready. Okay. They fired him. But I'm not saying he shouldn't have taken the job.
So he should.
Deshaun Foster and Deion Sanders are two entirely different teams. Deion Sanders coached a high school team at Jackson State. That's what he did.
He should have taken the job, and Deion shouldn't have taken the job.
What I'm saying is that I did not believe that Sanders was ready to be the head coach at Colorado. He was ready to be the head coach at Florida State.
Is he better than? No. Is he better than?
He was fine at Jackson State. He was fine at Jackson State.
Trent Dilfer ready to be the head coach at UAB?
Trent Dilfer is awful. That's an awful example. He's shit. Trent Dilfer is the worst quarterback in NFL history to get a Super Bowl ring. If Trent Dilfer can get a ring, anybody can get a motherfucking ring in the Super Bowl.
So he should
have game manager.
But he got an FBS job with no coaching experience.
So he shouldn't have taken the UAB job.
He shouldn't have. They should have given it to him. They gave it to him.
You gotta take it and figure it out.
They gave it to him with no results. At least Deion has some results on a piece of paper. He can say, look, Trent Dilfer was a high school coach, a high school football coach, and he got a D1 job.
I think what we're missing is that Dilfer doesn't matter as much to me as Deion Sanders does as a black man. I think
and
that's
he
what
doesn't matter, and he doesn't matter as much to you who were popping up Deion as Deion does. Because flip this shit. You guys are trying to make it about Hugh Freeze and Brian Kelly and Trent Dilfer. We don't give a fuck about them either. All we said is that you guys prop Deion up to something that really wasn't there. That's all we're saying.
So let me ask you a question though. Was Deion brought in to make Colorado a power in Division I football, or was he in to just make them relevant to some degree? Right?
Both.
They got everything.
Remember when Big 12, Paul? They were new big time football. They were moving out of the Pac-12 into the Big 12.
Let me ask Ken a question. Remember when A&T went to the Celebration Bowl? What happened to applications to the university? They skyrocketed, right?
That's right.
And A&T has benefited, many times over from that publicity they got from going to the Celebration Bowl. So look at where Colorado is in terms of growth of the university.
That was my perspective from the beginning.
So guys,
Colorado still won.
But guys, in that argument, you're validating what Colorado did. I don't think me or Lizelle are arguing that. Like that's at least I'm not. I won't put the words in your. I don't think that good for Colorado. That's not whose perspective I'm on. It makes all the sense in the world for them.
But hold on, I think it makes sense for. I think it makes sense for Deion. Instead of staying in Jackson State and maybe having a chance, maybe he bet on himself. Why not? They said, look, if I go here and turn it, if I do anything at this other program, I'm going to get a shot. So why would I stay at Jackson State when I can go here? And if I turn him around, because they had that bump. But he's confident enough to know that he bet on himself. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't. But you can't get mad at a man for going to a program. Because if he made them halfway relevant, then he could have gotten a shot somewhere else. But you don't stay there hoping that if I have another couple, if I have one bad year at Jackson State, then it's over. Right? I'm done. You couldn't even do that at Jackson State. So he did what he could do there, bet on himself, and had some success. Again, not as much as we wanted, but hey, he's not the only one.
And the only reason I bring up all the other names is because they do the exact same thing, Ty. They do the exact same damn thing, whether they think they can go somewhere and win or not. But yet we're going to beat this dude down because we say he should have stayed at Jackson State or he wasn't good enough to take a position. And hell, if they offer him the damn money, he went up there, he made the program relevant again. I think he won. But I was, to this day, I will still say he ain't a damn good coach, right? He's not a good coach, but he's a motivator of men. He's a great marketing tool, but
I'd agree on
that.
Be
a fool not to take the job.
Yeah,
I want to say this.
Good.
Yeah, just one thing.
Continue.
No, Ty, what you said about him betting on himself, combined with what Hump said about him not being a good coach, that's all I've been trying to say. I mean, that's the best explanation. I bet on myself. Now, I cannot be mad at that, right? I can't be mad if you bet on yourself. But again, in my head, for me, from the perspective of giving us the opportunity to head those kind of programs in the future, they look at this.
Go again. That's what I'm saying. But we get mad. Hold on a second. Hold on one second. Right. We get mad.
But I'm just saying.
We get mad when a man does that to us. When we go somewhere, why do we have to represent the chances for everybody? No, that's the problem we have in the workforce.
But we don't make that. It's not
we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that because we don't. Because that's my point. We on here and we're doing that. We're doing the same thing. We get upset about them doing us. They can, if he can't be the representation for every other black coach coming behind him. We can't put that pressure on. That's not his. He trying to do what his best opportunity for himself. For us to sit here and do the same thing that we complain about, because again, Just like we go to the workforce. You got other boys who sit there and fail all day or can be in the middle, can be mediocre without the pressure. But if one of us get a nice job, if we don't represent, we were letting everybody else down. He didn't let other black coach down. If anything, he let himself down. So the last thing I'm gonna do is put that pressure on him, saying that by him doing that job and not working out, he's messing up in every other, because he shouldn't. That's not for us to put on. That's not his job to represent everybody else. The same way Ryan Kelly and the rest of these who gone somewhere else and failed. We're not saying don't give another Caucasian coach a job. He's not representing. Nobody's saying he's letting them down. He never should have taken that job. We don't say the same thing.
Thank you.
And that's not fair. And again, I understand what you're saying, but we can't do that to ourselves.
Thank you.
I'm not going to complain about them doing it to us there. Then we're going to sit around here and do the same thing. It's just
Very
something
well
that
said,
feels
Ty.
real
Very well
funny
said.
about it. That's all I'm saying. Something don't hear right about that. So he's
Very
messing
well
up with
said.
everybody because he took opportunity. That's not
can
fair.
Can we flip it around then? Because I agree with you. When we have these conversations in the past, when we do this about basketball and quarterbacks and all that, I feel the exact same way you do. But then we also got to be careful about putting all our eggs in the basket and propping him up to be a deity when he get the fucking job. We can't have it both ways, because we are the ones who made the most of this. We propped him up. This very group, we were on a text string. You guys, not only did you feel good about him and you felt good about Colorado, you started believing that he was going to win. And that was my primary argument the whole time. That if you want to talk about the money and the opportunity, I'm with you on that. But you can't have it both ways. Oh, he's a god when he's winning, but let's not be down on him when he fucking lose. You can't.
I don't think anybody said that. But nobody said that. I don't think nobody said that. We just said he don't represent. He loses. But that's all I'm saying. I don't know. I don't remember all the problems.
And I don't think anybody should back him and say, yeah, he should take the job, but I hope he gets there and loses.
No.
Right. True.
No one said
say
that either. No one said I hope he loses. But there were people who said he will win.
You just pointed out that we were excited about him possibly getting there and winning. Right.
To be exact,
and I think that's just
in our
a
text
part
string,
of the encouraging and supporting the dude as he's taking the job and hoping that he gets there and win. Now,
to be exact, in our text string, when I made this point, you said, and you had a similar demeanor, and you kind of said, and I don't know why somebody said he can't win. He is going to go there and he is going to win, and he didn't. You had the exact same posture, and all I'm saying is, thank you. So now conversation's over. You were wrong.
Well, I was wrong about him winning.
Because he was propped up in a way that we did because he was black.
Hopeful he would be successful.
Now it comes this way. Oh, we can't put him out. We can't tear him down because
I was hopeful that he could be
and I'm still hopeful that
you can tear him down. Just don't say he represents everybody else. That's
but
all
he still has to take an opportunity.
He damn sure don't represent me. So
where's my point? I'm talking about coaches.
Sure represent me.
I'm just saying him failing there had nothing to do with other coaches getting the opportunity.
No,
I'm saying if it didn't work, I have no problem with you saying it's not working out. My problem is when you saying
I'm not the one who made this about Brian Kelly and all those other guys.
The point about Brian Kelly,
Ty
brought the point home about Brian Kelly and all the other coaches, and so they don't represent the rest of the white coaches, the Caucasian white population. Why are we putting Deion in that pedestal to represent everybody else?
We deified him more than we did them. For the reason, for the upside up.
Well, here's one thing I will say about the whole thing. I think he exceeded expectations from within the football community. A lot of people remember he won the first game against TCU. Nobody thought he'd have a chance for that. And then he won 9 games the second season. People didn't think he would even do that. So I'm not going to trip on him for that. And the man he had his bladder removed. He had cancer this season. And we're like, he had what did he get? Hold on. Oh, so you're going to tell me that's a little thing? He's out there with like half a foot and blood clots, right? He's got a bag he's wearing on. No, I'm not even going to trip on him. Most coaches would have said, I'm done. I'm taking care of my health. I'm not even going to trip on him for that, man. So, more power to him. I never thought he was going to be take them to a playoff championship win or anything like that. But I think that any black coaches that are going to get to SEC programs are going to come from within the programs. I don't think you're going to get a personality like a Deion Sanders. It's always going to be a program that's searching for something that's going to hire these type of guys. Like look at Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson. They had to go to programs that were struggling just to get that opportunity. Now, me personally, I think that there are a lot of black coaches that are in that pipeline that should get an opportunity because they put in the work. I'm not so much for these guys that play pro ball just coming in and taking over positions because they play pro ball. I don't think that translates all the time. But I'm not going to trip on Deion. I think him having a 9-4 season last year, exceeded expectations. They almost won the conference. He made Colorado a destination for people to take trips on, and it was a whole lot with Colorado. They got a lot of pub.
So with that,
they got a lot.
They've got to gauge him now on not just wins and losses, right? He's got to build a program. He's got to be able to recruit and retain in this NIL world and establish a solid program. Now that remains to be seen, right? Can he do that?
Well, here's the question: was that ever his intent?
Probably not.
I think most of what he did was for Shedeur to get playing time was the thing, and now he's got this contract, and he's got to put in the effort. But I heard that they were looking for Deion for other jobs. Before he signed that contract, he signed with Colorado. That's the easiest thing, But I don't know that he is even really. I don't know that he really even wanted to be a coach, other than outside of coaching his kids.
Yeah, I agree with that, P. I think the other thing that is going to always be an issue for him is now the NIL world is going to be harder because Colorado just doesn't have the pockets to compete on an NIL basis. So it's neither here nor there. For me, the ride is over. So whatever he decides to do, God bless him. I wish him luck.
Yeah, it's in my opinion that he needs to get a good recruiter, some outstanding recruiters, and find some undervalued players. That's where they're going to find their, that's where they're going to get that opportunity. Find some undervalued players. Don't always look at those lists and all that crap. I think the undervalued players is where all A&T could get some undervalued players and start worrying about that they came from a D1 school when you can't barely beat D2 schools. So, but either way. So any and I guess that was our unpopular take on college football. Was that Deion was horrible. But let's dive into who do you guys got for the national championship? Who you got for the national championship?
Wow. Probably Ohio State and Notre Dame, dude. Them dudes their programs look great.
Notre Dame, I don't think I'll ever take Notre Dame.
Indiana.
All right. Okay, Indiana.
Indiana's strong.
All right. Kid, who you got, man?
It's Ohio State against the field. I take Ohio State.
All right. Hup.
Texas A&M.
Okay. Lizelle.
Buckeyes versus Texas A&M. Nice.
Texas A&M. All right. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna just say Ohio State.
No.
You said Ohio State. Ohio State. All right. Perfect. It'll be interesting. We'll see. All right. So a couple more. Go ahead. Continue.
I was gonna say then Ty head explodes because Ohio State would have won another championship before Michigan did.
Hey, they didn't beat Michigan, so I'm okay with it.
Hey, how much did they?
It can't feel the same.
How much did they pay that quarterback, Ty? He paid like $8 million or something like that.
Underwood?
Yeah.
Yeah, $8 million.
Like $8 million for a season.
Wow.
Not for a season. For four, not a year.
For four. Dog, you gotta take it to the bank.
This year one, man. Y'all keep saying that. What first y'all put all the next year's the year, not this year. I have no expectation.
Hey,
Next
he gonna
year,
have a whole. He's gonna hold out after that year, because my man from
How
Duke
long
is
he
getting
next year? I
got
don't
$4
care what he
million a
does next
year.
year.
I'm like, dog, he's gonna be out of there.
No, if he have a game like he did last week, he won't be holding out for nothing. Better be taking it.
All right, bet. So let's talk about the NBA just quickly here. Well, not even quickly.
76ers.
What do you got to say?
76ers.
What's the NBA looking like this year, man? What's the NBA looking like? I haven't even paid any
There's
attention.
that road going through
Sleepers,
Philly.
man. There's been some
You don't
competitive
believe
games.
that, Ty. You don't believe that. I think the I don't know. PS is ramping up. So I think the Eastern Conference is is wide open. It really is, probably more than Cleveland and New York are the so-called teams to beat, and I don't think I'm not sure I buy either one of them. For the record, I damn sure don't buy the Sixers.
It's early, man.
In the Western Conference, it's the OKC tournament, man.
Again,
is
Wemby going to be in the MVP conversation?
If he stays healthy,
Yes.
I think he wins MVP. I think he wins.
And defensive
I
player.
already he's killing it. And is the NBA going to get? Is the NBA going to get over its that label that people are not watching the NBA? Are they going to, ratings going to be up?
So I thought a little bit about this, P. I'm not sure. This is probably a reset year for the NBA when it comes to ratings, because all the games have moved.
Yeah, the gambling
Turner
stations have gone.
Yeah, I think you right, Quay. You got that kind of stuff, but the fact that things have gone from, the Turner and whatever the broadcast partners were to like Prime and wherever they are now. It's streaming, but they're back on NBC also. So I think it's a reset for ratings. So they may not give a shit about ratings this year. It's probably
and then the gambling scandal too, right? We got a There's so many facets to it this season that it's going to be hard to put a gauge on where it's going. But honestly, I like the basketball that I've seen so far. That opening week, man, all those games were great. So I think the level of competition is good, but it remains to be seen at this point, man.
Right. Yeah, I'm a casual fan, so I don't really watch the NBA like that, but I think the NBA has the most skilled players, man, out of all the major sports. When you watch an NBA game, the guys are just phenomenal. They got skill. They're athletic.
I'm biased on that one, Paul.
I don't know if you're watching this Orlando Hawks game tonight, though.
I'm biased on that. I think the European players are skilled. I think they're very skilled. The European guys,
true,
that come to the NBA, they are very skilled.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I think American basketball, as we know it, they're not the most skilled guys.
What about the NBA though? Not American basketball. What about in the NBA?
No,
not
even that. Look at the last 5 or 6 MVPs in the league. Where are they from?
Big man, yeah, they're European guys. But overall, like the OKC guys.
Shy's from Canada. He ain't from.
Good point.
Yeah, they different.
What about this?
I definitely believe, Paul. I'll jump in on this though. I definitely believe that, to Ken's point, it is kind of a reset, but I think at the same time, I think we're resetting to the new style that is going to really push the old veterans out. Like the KDs can still produce, but the game is past them, man. LeBron, he's gonna come in and he's gonna be LeBron because he still, he knows how to win. But the game that if you watch any of them right now, these cats are running. It's Oklahoma City to the 10th degree, and that's what everybody's trying to do now. They're trying to pressure you on defense. They're trying to get out and run, and you better be able to shoot a three. Everybody on the team better be able to shoot a three. So the game has definitely shifted, and I think we've been on that path for a while. But I can definitely see it now, especially when you got cats like Wembanyama, hit you with a crossover and then he'll pull in a three. That's where the game is going. If you can't do something like that, or even half that, you're not going to have a place in the league, and that's what you better get used to seeing, in my opinion.
So would you agree? Like, I mean, Ty, what's the twin that played for your Pistons? The one played for the Pistons, the other played for Rockets. What are their names?
Thompson, Amen, and what's his name?
Thompson,
the Thompson twins. When you say Huff, like that's the prototypical player, and everybody got him now, and you like it. You put a kid like that on these older guys like KD, and they give him fits. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you don't have a team full of those guys, and P, this is where you come from, because that kid can shoot, he can pass, he can defend, he runs fast, he's big as shit. Like that's they may not be in the MVP that you're talking about, Quake, to your point, but the average player now is got like a 5-tool play. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there are way more of them today than there's ever been.
So is that good for the NBA? Because I think we talked about this before. Like me as a casual fan, they're outstanding players, but it doesn't seem like they have the it. Like there's no one that's a level above that makes you just say, "Wow, I want to watch this game on Sunday." Or there's no Lakers versus
you gotta give it time.
Boston.
You gotta give it time.
Well, I wonder is that time, is that model, is that kind of going away? Is it now like I think you mentioned, Ken, it's teams now. It's teams and skill set.
I just hope it is. I said that last time we talked about it. I just hope it is. Because that, the noise of a Kevin Durant and a LeBron James and all these guys just has got to stop drowning out how skilled these guys are. And when they play the game, when the game is played the way that OKC play it, there isn't a better game on the planet, man. That's just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's not beautiful when you put it in the hands and you want to see somebody just
pulling the air out the ball.
And everybody's there to see that guy. The thing I love about Wembanyama, to Hump's point, is he's doing everything out there. He may be the MVP. He's shooting threes, and he's definitely gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. And that's
so he's the Ohtani of basketball.
Pretty much. I said, I said this on the sports show. It's like I wonder, I always wondered how folks felt when they saw Wilt play, and just the stuff that he was able to do at his size. Mm-hmm. And I think we are finally starting to get a chance to see it when Wembanyama. He is doing things that big men are not supposed to.
He just ain't supposed to be able to do it.
You just ain't supposed to be able to do that.
And the difference in then and now is today you can't stop a guy like him from practicing those skills, right? It used to be if somebody was that side, there was some coach, and they say he fought this. They say he fought this his whole life. Coaches trying to put him down on the block and stop him from being a guard, right? And he just wouldn't have it, and his parents supported him. He left teams in France that tried to make him go post up.
Yeah, smart.
Well, I gotta say it's worked out well for him.
And I think Ken would agree, though. One of the best moves the NBA did was bringing Charles Barkley in the inside NBA.
That continuity, baby. That continuity.
That's it. They saved the game. 30 years. There's something to it, Ken.
All right,
nothing infuriates me more than that shit.
Ken hates that show about as much as I hate First Take.
I was thinking about that the other day. Yes. You know how I feel. You hate First Take. You know how I feel, and how I have felt for fucking 25 years of that shit. That Charles Barkley. Oh my God, it doesn't get any better.
Are you okay with Shaq being the fool?
No, I detest it all.
So okay with Kenny Smith when he runs to the screen?
Huh?
You okay with Kenny Smith when he runs to the screen?
I hate that the worst.
Why do you think?
Oh my
do you
God!
Think do you think it's buffoonery? Is that why?
I think it's absolutely buffoonery. So tell me, shit, y'all don't fucking open it up now. Tell me another sport we watch where a show like that gets like prime time spot. They don't do it for baseball. They don't do it for football. They don't do it.
I disagree, because if you watch MLB, you sit there and that's what, if you watch Derek Jeter and your boy, they banter.
Big Poppy, A-Rod, and Jeter.
If you watch Fox TV, if you watch Fox on NFL, Ingram is nothing but trying to be that. Think about it. Do you watch the Fox show?
No.
It's crazy. He does the same thing.
I've turned it on, but so here's why I agree with you, Ty. That is the Charles Barkley-fication of fucking sports coverage. It's so silly that everybody runs that way. But most primetime sports we watch, that is not the case. It's not that way on Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. We're about to go into the World Series. They didn't have any of that shit in and around the World Series, man.
I'm telling you, watch Derek Jeter and Big Poppy go at it.
I think to the extreme. I don't think the MLB they do some stuff, but it comes across as corny sometimes, because you could tell they're trying to do it.
Right.
And they don't put a production behind it. Like
you're saying, they don't have the magic that Barkley has. So I got you.
Right.
Oh shoot!
The chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Barkley gets upset. You can't be me. I'm the Eddie Kane. How does it feel?
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, look, fellas, we're gonna our last quick topic here. World Series, was that a win for Major League Baseball? Some people say it was some of the best games in the history of baseball, with the best player in the history of baseball.
It's a great
What do you guys think?
Great series.
Ever.
Great series.
Great series.
Definitely the best one.
Ty, you think it's the best ever? Ty?
Probably the best one I ever recall seeing.
It's right up there with the Minnesota Game 7. But to me, what made it different is that game was 0-0 or 1-1 going into it went 10 innings when our boy won that one from Minnesota. This one, the pageantry,
yes, sir.
The fact that you had, because it's one thing to sit there and have a game where pitchers are killing and you're not scoring, but to have to get a home run in the ninth inning to tie it up with 2 outs, right. To go another 2, I mean, a 6-5 as opposed to a 1-0. It's just a different game. And then you had runners on base. You know what I mean? And the plays that were made between it was different in that way. You got a pitcher who came back from, pitching 7 innings the day before, coming in, and it wasn't like he was on his game because they hit him.
95
he hit him. I mean, he was wild and everything. I mean, so it just had so much to it to where you didn't. I've never seen anything from an action. I've seen pitchers come in and shut people down for 9-10 innings, but not Ohtani giving up 3 in the 3rd inning, then coming back. I mean, that's the nuance of this game that was different than anything we've seen before. It wasn't a pretty game. It was an exciting game. Your boy running in the outfield. I mean, he thought he had the ball. He ran him over and took. I mean, think how ugly that could have got. I mean, right. the throw from the second baseman home. Foot came off the base. I mean, it was so many little things in that game.
Plays. And it just wasn't one game. It was multiple games where you had that.
Yeah.
All right, Hump. What's your breakdown, dude?
Game 6.
Here, Ty, Hump. Go ahead, Hump. Break it out, Hump.
I think Ty jumped in on. I mean, he pointed out it's like you remember World Series games, but this is a series that you will remember. You're going to remember 18-inning games. You're going to remember a double play to end Game 6 to take it to Game 7. You're going to remember, the plays that were made in Game 7. That you're going to remember the stupid stuff like IKF being on third base, bottom of the ninth, with a chance to score at home, not taking a lead off a third, not taking a secondary lead when the pitcher pitches, sliding foot first. That nanosecond was the difference between them winning the World Series and losing, going another inning and losing and them losing. It was bar none, game for game, one of the best World Series that I ever seen, the best World Series I've ever seen. And I think as we continue to look at it in years to come, I hope we have some more of those. But I think in years to come, as people start to break down each of those games throughout the series, they're going to have a hard time matching them up against anything. And I will say this about the MLB. They are riding very high on a very well-viewed series, and they better not mess it up by the collective bargaining agreement that's coming up next year. Because they have a chance to take this thing and really take it to the next level and get people watching again. They already got the eyes, but they mess around and make the players striking. They're gonna lose everybody like they did the last time.
Are y'all sons watching it? Because my son's watching it.
No.
And,
No.
Oh yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that they need a salary cap? Do you think they need a salary cap in MLB?
I don't know if they need a cap, but I think they need more of a luxury tax. I think they need a very healthy luxury tax.
Yeah,
I think teams ought to be able to, if they can create the market, I'm okay with that. But you got to penalize them and make it spread out across the teams.
the thing I always think about that is it's hard to argue for a salary cap. I was thinking about this recently, right? The sport with the salary cap is the one who keeps repeating as champion.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA and Major League Baseball, before the Dodgers just repeated, it had been what? How many years since they were champions? 30 years.
20-some years. The Yankees. Not the Yankees.
And
it was Yankees and then the Blue Jays actually repeated in 92, 93 with Carter Thorne.
I think OKC is the 8th year in a row they had a new champion, something like that, right? So in the NBA, new champion almost every year, right? Whereas the Kansas City Chiefs keep earning the Super Bowl. They've been in the Super Bowl for 5-6 years in a row, whatever it is, or how many times. So I used to think a salary cap was the play, P, but I'm just not. It's not buying. Hadn't bought the Yankees a championship in a while, right?
Well,
the Red Sox.
Well, you got to buy the right players now.
That's right. That's right. Because the Dodgers almost.
Listen, they were. I read a story. Well, it's interesting that you say that about buying the right players because.
Go ahead.
Oh, is that me? Oh, my bad, Hump. I was going to say the same thing. They were talking about Game 7, and they were talking about the pitchers for the Dodgers, and literally, we had $1.6 billion on the mound on Game 7 between Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Snell. 1.6 billion. And I think the thing that really made that game so special and amazing was there are a lot of people that talk about, the best team that money can buy. And from A to Z, even Mookie Betts, who had a shit series from an offensive standpoint, right? He still, when it was time defensively to do what he needed to do, Freeman, Betts, and Muncy, Snell, Ohtani. It was like Murderer's Row, like from the Yankees back in the day. And they came to play when the lights were the brightest. They came to show why they make all that money. So, I mean, it was I
will say that. Yeah. I was a little disappointed.
Were you?
Snell. He looked like the moment in the World Series, because he pitched two games that were questionable in the World Series. He looked good in the league championship, but in the World Series, his game was off.
Well, I mean, as long as he kept him in the game, that's all I was worried about.
Yeah.
I was more disappointed with Ohtani.
I would say
from the pitching standpoint.
Time out. Hold on a second.
What?
You did point Ohtani in which game?
What's that?
The last one when he gave up the 3. But when I say disappointed,
first of all, he never should have came in
he's
the third
Superman. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him.
But I said
he is the Japanese Superman.
No, but no, what I'm saying is I sent the text out to everybody. I said 2 innings and he should have been done.
I agree.
He didn't have a regular rotation.
Right.
Yeah.
He started the game. He
never
got him
pitched
out
on
of
3
2
days.
scoreless
He
innings.
never pitched
He
on 3
never
days.
should have came in that third inning.
But
So that was the coach trying to squeeze way too much. It wasn't like he was stellar on the first 2 innings.
And say what you want about Dave Roberts. Every button he pushed, because when Yamamoto hit the guy, remember when he hit the batter in the ninth or in the seventh game, he hit the batter, and I was like, he needs to go. He needs to bring in Sasaki, like bring in the closer now. And he kept, and he got the last out. And I was like, are you kidding me?
So all we're talking about right now points back to the one thing that I said they almost misspent their money is they didn't have that middle to closer, because that almost cost them too many games in the series. And I promise you, as they're they're building their roster next year, they're figuring out how to get that bullpen beefed up.
We're looking for a middle reliever. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So quick question from a non-baseball fan. I've heard people say this. Is Ohtani the best player ever?
Yes. Yes. Well, listen, the sample size is, I think, big enough to say it. But you're not. He's like Wemby. He's like Wemby. Like he is a unicorn right now. There's nobody. I mean, when you walk in him to walk the base, I mean, man can't even get a pitch ever. And they call him for before he step out the dugout. Like, we can't pitch to him. I mean, the man, he was by far the biggest star in this whole thing. And I don't know. I mean, because I'm a Dodger fan and have been a Dodger fan forever. You know, I watched him when he was at the Angels and was like, man, if we do not go get that guy, Magic Johnson need to make a phone call. We got to get him. He's amazing. Like, you can't put your finger on it. Everything he does. And I didn't know what kind of player he was going to be. Remember, when we got him, his elbow was messed up. He didn't even pitch that first year, right? Because he had Tommy John. So they didn't know what kind of pitcher they were going to get. We didn't know if he was going to have it when he came back. He's throwing 9,800 miles an hour. Man is amazing. I mean, usually, what they say with Tommy John surgery, it takes about a year for you to get comfortable again, to do all your pitches or something like that. But he's a beast. So I'm going to say yes. Now, you can disagree with me if you want.
We're all in our 50s, and we may live, if we double and live another 50 years, and we're so fortunate. We may do that and never see another 3 home run, 10 strikeout game
ever.
Yeah, I think that, like, we've all seen clutch hitters. We've seen pitchers avoid clutch hitters. We've seen folks who have performed in the field. We've seen great pitching, but I have got to say that Ohtani is the most complete player in every facet of the game that we've ever seen. Even when the guy wasn't pitching, he was a different. I mean, he wasn't all world, he wasn't Gold Glove, but he was a very solid defensive player. And now you put him on the mound, and he has the ability to go up there and prevent the other team from scoring. He has the ability to dominate the game from both the mound, from the bump, as well as from the batter's box. We ain't never seen nobody like that. And I don't know that we'll ever see anybody else. Definitely won't see anybody like that from American baseball. If anybody else comes through like that, it would be coming from Asia, Japan, Korea, that area. But because they train different over there.
Yeah.
Had a chance, just a side note, man, had a chance to ride a train in South Korea and looked over and saw schools that were baseball schools. I mean, you could see the kids coming back and forth to class, but the school was built around the baseball field.
Wow.
Right? So that's what they do.
IMG Academy, right?
Yeah, it's what they do 8 hours out the day, and school is built into it. It's crazy.
Wow. All right, perfect. So it looks like Major League Baseball's sitting pretty at this point.
Okay, AP, one more thing, just for the
Sure.
guys. Like, what is the comp to 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs in the other sports? I mean, I
There isn't
don't
one.
know. There isn't one, right?
There isn't one.
playing both ways, getting 3 picks and 2 and 3 touchdowns, baby.
Yeah, right. You be playing what, like quarterback and middle linebacker?
What about a quadruple?
Right?
There you go. I like that. Quarterback and middle. Exactly. You got to make that kind of impact on both sides of the ball. The man has 3 MVPs already. I mean, imagine if he just played one position. Look what he did when he had to sit out because he couldn't pitch last year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw how his batting elevated. So if he was just a pitcher, I mean, that's the thing about. I mean, think about during that game, he had just had to hit a line drive, had to wait a little while to get his breath back, so he can come out and warm up. I mean, you can't equate it to anything because you've never seen it. It's like it's the unicorn. It's crazy. You know how much.
And you know what? The one thing he didn't do that I was surprised, he didn't try to steal a base. And the man had what 50 and 50 the year before.
Well, he did.
Nobody's ever done that.
He got thrown out.
One game he stole one, but he came up.
Did he get it one?
Right?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he beat the throw, but his foot came off.
Oh yeah, but momentum took him off the base.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy, and the dude is huge. They said, I mean, you saw him next to Magic. You know how big Magic is.
Right.
So when y'all saw him stand next to Magic, you said, "Wait a minute, this cat," and that's what everybody said. Is that they couldn't believe how big this dude was when you saw him in person. I mean, he's a freak, man. He can get the MVP every year, and you couldn't argue with it.
Good.
It's a couple of giants in baseball. Isn't it Aaron Judge and a couple of guys from the Yankees are massive guys
6,
like
7.
that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
That's why I'm amazed that Judge plays in the outfield as big as he is. But he loves to play.
Yeah.
But like you say, they let him play in high school, in college, and they didn't put him in a box like you said with Wemby. If you let them play, these guys can play. You hear the story all the time, you know, about these athletes, and that's why they were so good with the ball. What's your boy's name with the unibrow? They talked about how good of a guard he was. You know,
Yeah, because he
forget his name.
Inches?
But right.
He threw 10 inches in a year. Yeah.
So that's kind of like a guy. You know what I was about to say, Ty. I was just gonna throw it in just because, you know what I was gonna say, right? It's like a guy riding. Either way, we're gonna finish this off, man, with our individual thoughts at this point. So we're gonna let our guests go first. Lizelle, why don't you go ahead with your individual thought for this episode, man?
Well, when we were talking about the NBA, I was really surprised that nobody brought up Ja Morant and the things that he's going through. And for, you know, I'm not sure how close you're following the NBA, but he was suspended a couple of days ago for conduct detrimental to the team. And I was listening to a couple of people talk about it. And I guess the underlying thoughts for most people are he might be done in Memphis. They may be done with him, and that they should start looking for trade partners. I mean, I don't know about any of that, but what I would hope is, because one of the things that he said in his last interview was he's lost his joy for the game. He said he can't find his joy for the game. And we know this young man has gone through a lot of stuff in his, short career. But I just hope and pray that he figures it out, because he's too much of a talent to not. And I don't want him to get labeled a problem, because it feels like that's happening. They fired the coach. They brought in a new coach, and the guy they were talking about, Jenkins, who was his coach prior, was part of the Popovich tree. And the Popovich tree, I think a lot of us know, if you follow NBA, well-respected, coaches they actually really preach coaching the players up. And this is a new NBA, which is a little more modern. And they don't necessarily, I don't want to say they don't take coaching as well in some aspects to me. But they're definitely more empowered than maybe players of a former generation. So with that being said, without getting too much into it, I just hope that the young man figures it out and figures it out quick, because we know what he does when he's right. both mentally and physically. And I think that's all I've got. I just hope that we're going to keep a good eye on him. I don't know, where you are in terms of your spirituality. Say a little prayer for the brother, but definitely I want to see him exceed. I want to see him be successful, and I'd like to see him do it in Memphis. But sometimes things don't work out. But I'm always keep an eye out for that, brother. That's it.
Cool. Quake.
This is going to take a different twist. This is not going to be related to what we've discussed tonight, but as you know, today is November 4th. So we got a lot of midterm elections going on today. I'm curious to see how this turns out and how it hopefully changes the path that we're headed on with our nation, man. We need to start making some headway, right? We've been in this shutdown right now with our government, and it's affecting a lot of folks, right? ISIS and their dilemma. We've got people out of work. We've got SNAP benefits on hold. We've got some hurting folks out here. So I'm curious to see how we can turn this thing around.
All right. Perfect. Ken?
So my thought is I'm out of First Take. It's over. I'm done with them. Done.
Chuck Bussy.
So it's over. So I earlier in this episode I said Hump was wrong about Dion, and I think he was right about First Take. Brother, I should listen to you a long time ago. And here's what happened. First and foremost, Stephen A. Smith, which is love and hate that most of us out here have, strike one was a major strike for me, was what he did with Jasmine Crockett, right? And that he's got a lot of shit for that, and rightfully so. Number two, how they gonna have a show without my girl Molly Caron? Like, yeah. That I should have left on that shit alone. Number three,
ask Jalen Rose.
Number three, he's got like the band of clowns that are all now showing up and turning it into just one little circus of weird conversation, weirdly dressed people up there just talking about their wildest and weirdest takes that there is, right? That's number three. But the clincher, and you guys saw it, we got two Cowboy fans on here, three, if I count you, Quake, three Cowboy fans on here. I know y'all saw Stephen A. Smith and Jerry Jones sitting in Jerry's box last night or wherever that game was playing yesterday. And if that wasn't a mockery, I don't know what it is. So I'm done. No more First Take on my TV. I'm out.
TVs.
All right.
That's right.
Perfect. Ty?
I think Quake hit it. I needed this. I would say when Paul sent out the whole lineup for the day and the topics, I'm glad we kept it this way. Like you said, with so much going on, it's nice to have this conversation and not, to get away from what's really going on. But it couldn't help but hit me when we were talking about the amount of money that these players are making. Like I think he said it was 1.6 million on the mound or in the game, and now we have workers not getting paid.
Billion.
No, I'm sorry, you're right. My point. And so to hear those numbers, and that's for entertainment. And so there's so many that's going through it and not getting paid now. So just want to continue to hope that we do what's right. Make sure we get health care. I mean, for us to be the most powerful nation in the world, those are basic needs.
Absolutely.
And it should be just, with so much money out here, it's crazy. So just prayers to all those who are not getting paid and not getting, not able to eat and get the basic necessities of life. Just pray for them.
All right, perfect. All right, Hump.
Well, I'm gonna bring it back up a little bit, and I'll keep it light. But if there's one thing that we're starting to see across sports, we talked about basketball, we talked about football, we talked about baseball. That across the sports, game doesn't care about the preseason predictions, all these CFB polls that are out before the game even played, and all the preseason hype of the NFL, who we thought was going to make the World Series. We see new names and new stories every day rise up. And that's what makes it the sport's great, man. That's why we watch. They're kind of unpredictable. They're alive. They keep us alive. They keep us distracted at times. And it also keeps us arguing every time we get on the screen. So you can't wait to see how I can't wait to see how the rest of it plays out. I'm wearing my New York City Marathon shirt tonight. And if you know, the marathon was this past weekend and had a couple of Kenyans dominate as they normally do. But Helen Obiri broke the women's world record, and her compatriot Benson Caputo won the men's. And, she ran that joint in 2 hours and 19 minutes and 53 seconds.
Wow.
Just imagine that, 26.2 miles in 2 hours and 19 minutes and 59 seconds. So next time you're out taking a walk, think about how long it would take you to walk 26.2. But look, fellas, I enjoyed the show tonight. Spirited debate, love the conversation. Keep our heads up and keep pushing forward.
All right, perfect. Well, in the spirit of this being our sports episode, I know that a lot of you have kids that play sports, and something that just kind of hit me a while back is that as parents, we don't enjoy the ride enough. We talk about professional sports, and everybody looks at the professional side, but I don't think as parents a lot of times, and even as kids playing, we don't allow them to enjoy the ride as much. My oldest son, we were really serious about him with his football pursuits. We did all the camps and all that stuff, and everything was even little league games were super, super serious. Everything was serious, right? But then in the end, you look back and you're like, man, we didn't enjoy that enough. So my second son, my youngest son, he is playing sports now. We're trying to be a little more just free about it and enjoy it. We got a surprise. He actually played his first varsity football game as a sophomore. We didn't see that coming this year. And it was a pleasant surprise. I think it was the most happy I've been at a game because I didn't expect it. And we were just excited that he was doing well. It wasn't about he put all his time in and blah, blah, blah. And Hump's son is playing football now in high school. And I went to see his son play, and I sat on the other side of the stadium because I know how serious parents are when they watch the game. They want to watch the game and watch their kids. So I was like, I'm not going to interfere with him. I'm going to go over at halftime, let him have his time. But I know that seriousness, but we got to just enjoy the ride because, again, most kids are not going to get to the pro level. Most kids aren't even going to get to the college level. So just enjoy the ride, parents out there that their kids play sports. They might get there. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. I know some people that, and we all know people that have gotten to the league or gotten to a higher level. But just enjoy the ride. You'll thank yourself later on. And this is the shirt I had on actually when my second son was born. So this shirt is at least 15 years old, right, at this point. His name is Phoenix Fleming. He plays for the Southeast Guilford Falcons. They're going into the playoffs. Hopefully he does well. And another thing in terms of sports, Lazelle's brother, Rich, is a commentator for one of our local teams. He commentated one of my son's the 2 games ago, and he did an outstanding job, fellas. He did an outstanding job.
Awesome.
So I want to give Rich some dap on that in his pursuits. He did the podcast well, man. He did the podcast well. But I want to thank everybody for joining Lazelle.
Whoa. Yo, you just cannot gloss over that weird shirt, though. I mean, I know it's sentimental, but hold that up. What is this?
It's let me see if I can get up.
Why,
Mr. Happy.
Mr. Happy.
Why did you have that on when Phoenix was born?
I just had it on, man. It fits, though. It fits. I just had it on. And this is one of the most comfortable T-shirts I have. It's so soft, man. It has been through lots of washes. It's held up. Great shirt.
Okay.
But I had this on when he was
Mr.
born.
Happy.
I'm just saying. It's you mad, huh? But I'm happy. I was happy with that day. So, but I want to thank everybody for joining. Lizelle, thanks for joining. You can come on anytime, man. We love your animated perspectives and button pushing. Oh, and another thing, Dak Prescott, I apologize. You look like a winner now. Drake May, you're a nice kid, but you're a nice kid, but show me in the playoffs. That's where I really want to see it, in the playoffs. All right. And again, our next episode coming up is going to be a more serious topic. We're going to dive into the attack on Black women in this country. So that's our next episode coming up. We also have a men's health episode coming up in the near future. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. Again, thanks for everybody for joining.
Peace. All right. Thanks for having me, gentlemen. I appreciate you.
Good rest of the week.
We'll holla.